UAW President Shawn Fain addressing members about the stand-up strike and what was won at the Big Three. That as the ratification process continues. And after 7 months, those involved in this crash are now facing charges. How long they could be behind bars if convicted. Here's Paula.
She used to work in the family upholstery store, but today she's a best-selling author, and the movie based on her book is in theaters.
Well, I think I'm black and blue from pinching myself seriously.
The backstory of the Marsh King's daughter and one mother of a novel idea that's hitting the big screen.
A chilly afternoon here in Metro Detroit, and there are a few showers, but sunshine returning soon. We'll talk about it coming up first at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
And good afternoon to you. We begin with that breaking news. Within the last 50 minutes, Detroit police confirmed that one suspect is now in custody for the murder of Samantha Wohl. Wohl was a well-known leader in Detroit's Jewish community, and she was murdered after returning home from a wedding back on October 21st. Police say they do know that someone stabbed her to death, but investigators are not releasing any other information about who they believe did it. Coming up tonight at 5 o'clock, a breakdown of the crime scene investigation and what happens next in this case. UAW President Shawn Fain addressing members today about the union's gains with the Big Three after tentative agreements were reached just a few weeks ago. Fain's comments come after the production side of the Flint engine plant turned down the tentative agreement with GM. Today, Fain said he stands behind members no matter how they vote. And he also emphasized that the strike helped win auto workers something they had been missing for years.
We won back our dignity as auto workers. We won back our pride in being UAW and being able to wear this label on our chest. We won back our strike muscle. And we won back a vision to lead our labor movement out of 40 years in the desert towards an economy that works for the working class.
Rod Maloney is working this story right now. He's talking with industry experts. We'll have that for you tonight on Local 4 News at 5 o'clock. 2 men are now charged after crashing into another driver while he did donuts in an intersection. The high-speed crash was captured on this cell phone video. Police say both 18-year-old Cameron Pickett and 19-year-old Cody Johnson were drag racing when they slammed into the victim's car back on March 30th in Pontiac. Both now face charges of reckless driving causing death and drag racing. If convicted, both men face up to 15 years in prison. Well, Michigan Democrats are temporarily losing full control of the state's government after 2 state representatives won mayoral races in Tuesday's election. Lori Stone is giving up her seat in Lansing to take over the top job in Warren. Warren residents voting yesterday to make Stone the first female mayor in the city's history. Now over to Wayne County, where Kevin Coleman is the new mayor of Westland, defeating Michael Londo. Coleman captured 59% of the votes there. Now, the wins put the state house in a 54-54 deadlock until special elections can be held. And it is not yet clear when those elections will take place. We'll have more on this shakeup for you tonight on Local 4 News at 5 o'clock. All right, it is a windy day out there, kind of raw. Take a live look at this picture of the mighty Mac, the Mackinac Bridge up north. You can see the waves are really hitting the beach there. We're also seeing some winds down here in Metro Detroit. Kim Adams is here now with a look at our forecast. Hey, Kim.
Hey, Christy, it gives you the chills looking at that. It is a chilly afternoon here and also a bit damp as we do have a few showers, especially north of M59 and over into Port Huron. They're getting some good soaking rain right now. We'll continue to have a few spotty showers for the next few hours, and then as we get closer to 10 or 11 o'clock, we'll get some soaking rains across Metro Detroit, but that rain will come to an end by tomorrow morning. 41 right now in Pontiac, 42 in Mount Clemens. Port Huron, not only is it raining, but it's only 36 degrees, so a little bit chilly out there. We'll widen the view for you. You go just a little bit to the south and look at Columbus, Ohio, 73 degrees. Less than 3.5 hours away, you could be in the 70s, but we're here in the 40s. Now, for the day tomorrow, we do warm up a little bit. We'll get into the low 50s, 53 tomorrow afternoon with some late day sunshine. We'll talk about your weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds good, Kim. We'll see you then. Well, it is almost like deja vu. Just weeks ago, we were warning you about a government shutdown as Congress struggled to come to a deal on funding. The House eventually did pass a temporary bill, but now that is about to expire. Let's get on over to Kimberly Gill with some new challenges this time around, right, Kimberly?
You're right. Hi, Christy. Good afternoon to you. And those come as the deadline is just 9 days away and counting. And so far, House Republicans don't seem to have a concrete plan. Speaker Mike Johnson and GOP lawmakers have held several talks and have gone through a series of ideas so far this week. Those ideas include yet another short-term spending bill that would keep the government operational until January 19th. But if some Republicans in the House are against another short-term plan, Speaker Johnson would need Democratic support, and that's a tough ask. If no deal is reached, it could cause many problems, including the halting of construction projects and disruptions in food safety inspections.
We certainly want to avoid a government shutdown. It's a dangerous time around the world right now. We recognize that, and we're doing our job.
Bipartisanship is the word. Just one side passing a bill just with one party and sending it over is not going to be a very good way to move things forward.
Now, as we mentioned just a few weeks ago, Congress passed a short-term bill. According to experts, the U.S. would have lost $6 billion per week had Congress not acted. So
this is going to be very interesting to see how the deal making is going to roll this time around.
Really
all right, we're going to keep an eye on it. Thanks so much, Kimberly.
Absolutely.
Well, turning now to Uvalde, Texas, where the mother of a Uvalde school shooting victim was running to become mayor of the town. Kim Rubio says the campaign was all in honor of her daughter. The special election drew out huge crowds at polling locations on Tuesday, but in the end, Rubio came up short. Cody Smith won with just over 65% of the vote. But still, Rubio says this isn't ending her fight to make positive change in her community.
I care about my community. I see so much hurt, and I wanted to be a part of helping that. I can still do that. And as far as why I do everything for Lexi is always with me. I take her no matter where I go.
Yeah, the next generation of politicians. Now, Mayor-elect Cody Smith says he's planning on working with Rubio, the other victims' families, and the community on a path forward. All right, in theaters right now, it is music to the ears of a local author whose novel has been made into a major motion picture. The Marsh King's Daughter is a movie thriller, but as Paula Tutman explains, no one is more thrilled than the woman who wrote the book.
I think he's coming for me.
Nope, it didn't go straight to streaming. Based on the best-selling novel, The Marsh King's Daughter, the movie by the same name is actually in theaters. And author Karen Dion can hardly believe it.
It was amazing to see the movie in theaters. You know, that's the ultimate end result.
If you recognize the name Karen Dion, it might be because for many, many years, she's been one of our neighbors. She and her husband lived in Shelby Township and ran Dion's upholstery shop. But Karen was a writer with 3 novels under her belt.
So they were in Myers and CVS Pharmacy and the bookstores. And of course, all that was super exciting. But the books didn't take off like, everyone had hoped.
But one morning woke up from a dream with the words of her 4th novel etched in her memory.
And the sentences are, if I told you my mother's name, you'd recognize it right away. My mother was famous, though she never wanted to be. Hers wasn't the kind of fame anyone would wish for. J.C. Dugard, Amanda Berry, Elizabeth Smart.
She hung up her apron and dove full-time into the book.
Her father kidnapped her mother when her mother was a teenager and hid her away, and Helena is the product of that crime.
It became an international bestseller and has been published in 28 different languages. And now the adaptation is in premiere mode at theaters across the nation.
Helena Erickson? What are you doing with my house?
What's going on?
Your father, Jacob Holbrook. When was the last time you spoke to him? When I was 10 years old.
I'm confused. I thought your parents died in a car accident.
That's what I told you.
Her father has been in the maximum security prison in Marquette for a dozen years. He escapes during a prison transfer and makes police think he's heading into the Seney Wildlife Refuge. But Helena knows he's coming for her.
And while Michiganders will recognize many of the places because the book is set in the UP, filming was in Canada and during the height of the pandemic. And so Karen couldn't attend any of the filming. And now there's the current actors' strike.
I was holding out hope that one day there would be a red carpet premiere. And I was planning for that. I even had the dress in my closet. But because of the timing of the movie's release and the actors' strike, actors, they can't promote their movies, so you can't exactly have a celebrity premiere without celebrities. So no premiere for the book.
But to Karen, those are small details compared to seeing her words fairly true to the novel on the silver screen.
Well, I think I'm black and blue from pinching myself seriously. And my new favorite word is surreal. I use it a lot for everything.
Yeah, you know what, Karen, and you should. I mean, take a look at this. The posters are here. The movie's in the theaters, right here at Imagine in Rochester Hills, as well as around the area. And by the way, if you miss her at the upholstery store, it's because she made enough money that she and her husband were able to retire. They now live in mid-Michigan, and of course, she's working on her next novel, and of course, it is centered in the UP. Christy?
I love it, Paula. And of course, let's hope it gets made into a movie, and then she'll get her premiere for that next book's movie.
Yeah, the next one, for the next book. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yay and good luck. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Yay.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. Paula Tutman reporting for us. That was a great story.